Welcome to the Typical Skeptic Podcast, where we dive deep, you decide. Questioning the matrix from UFOs, where the shadows unknown reside. Rob Khalil busting myths like ghosts in the night. Paranormal probes, secret space ops, yo, we keep it real, no fright. Typical skeptical seeking, never sleeping on the lies. Aliens, ain't no wacky black ops in disguise. From abductions to ancient scripts, we flip the script wide. TSP style, mile after mile, truth can't hide. Hold up, TSP crew assemble, we dismantle the fable. My lab's targeted souls breaking out of the stable. Dogman howling, Bigfoot prowling, cryptids in the mist. Mandela the fifth twist in reality, can't resist the twist. Soul trap snapping, reincarnation mapping, holographic dreams. Near-death visions, out-of-body missions, waking up the teams. No censorship here, we fear no elite scheme. Conspiracy kings ringing bells, hear the freedom ring. Skeptical seeking, never sleeping on the line.
Welcome to Typical Skeptic Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
Hey guys, welcome back to another show. I'm really excited about my guest today. It's been crazy. I've had trouble streaming to Rumble, so I hope the people that usually watch on Rumble find us over here, because that's usually a whole other crowd. Today I have with me Bella Aloha. She returns to the show for another massive deep dive into current events, disclosure, consciousness, and the bigger picture around what's happening around the world. One of the main investigations today centers on something increasingly difficult to ignore: water. With drought conditions affecting different regions and enormous data centers requiring significant amounts of water for cooling and infrastructure, Bella wants to examine a much bigger question. Could the aggressive global expansion of data centers become much part of a larger resource crisis? And if at all, does the intersect with the goals align with Agenda 2030? We'll look at the reports surrounding Lake Mead and Lake Powell, drought conditions, and all the other stuff. And then we'll switch to UFO disclosure. She has also been following reports and claims involving unidentified objects with being intercepted and shot down. We'll examine what's actually being reported and what remains unheard, and whether recovery of unknown technology could be part of the larger disclosure story. We'll also discuss the fascinating roadmap of the 4-phase UFO disclosure roadmap, and that's in the description, and a little bit more about my guest, Bella Aloha. She specializes in topics involving UFOs, starseeds, disclosure scenarios, and hidden programs, theories. This isn't right. Sorry. Why isn't this? Bella Aloha is a Galactic Akashic records reader, and this is all messed up today. and she's a starseed. She does 12 to 22 chakra healing, and she can introduce herself as well. This has been a day. Let me just tell you. Bella, thanks so much for coming back on. Sorry about that. How's it going?
That's all right. No worries. Yeah, I know there's a bunch of tech stuff going on, right? And there's lots of crazy energy right now. So it's all good. I don't really even see anybody in the chat right now. Do you?
There will be. I can share the link out one more.
Why don't you do that? Why don't you do that? And I'll just do a little blurb.
Tell the people about yourself.
So everyone, for those of you who are new, most of you know me. Rob and I do shows every 2 weeks. We dive into the Galactic Akashic records, which are a higher frequency version of records that cover not only our Earth and timelines, but also galaxies, universes. They are source guarded. And I've been working with these particular records for like 4 years. So when we dive into the records, we get the truth. I'm all about the truth. I'm a truth seeker, a truth finder, just like the X-Files. And I want to make sure that we're getting a higher perspective, that we're not just getting what we want to hear, or we're not getting what the agendas are, because the agendas are also in all the on all the social media platforms now too, everyone. And we know that's why I like to do these shows with Rob and a couple other podcasters, because we look at everything from a different perspective, not just like sort of, what our belief systems are. So and for all of you who think you're a starseed, I offer reading sessions, some with quantum healing, some just readings for more starseed origins and your mission. And I think we're getting right down to the core now of many of you, this is what came in my podcast yesterday. Many of you have a mission to help with the resources.
Yeah.
Right. So some of you out there have ideas. You're going to get all worked up about this, and we need to. And someone asked yesterday on my podcast, aren't the Galactics, aren't these other teams coming to save us? Well, they're helping us, but they're forcing us to acknowledge the problems and step into our power and come up with our own solutions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Because we're at that point. We're at that point now. We can't, exactly what Rob said. We can't ignore that while all this other distraction stuff has been going on, our water resources are fully being depleted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that seems like it's part of a bigger plan to, I don't know what exactly, you know, it's and not just that, but like, I think the Galactics want us to evolve. Probably they want humans to evolve, and you can't evolve if someone's kind of holding your hand. You know what I mean?
Well, I think a bunch of us, including myself, are pretty surprised about how aggressive everything has become, or that we haven't been paying attention. Like I remember the individuals that started coming to you, that one guest that was coming with her son, and they were already talking about the data centers and the water. I think I looked at a couple of things yesterday, Rob, and maybe we might want to look at this too. I have been told, that's why I don't know if you've had anybody on your show, that some of the data centers are not data centers at all. They're water.
What are they?
They're water storage centers.
Wow.
They're depleting our water and they're storing the water for themselves.
That's crazy. Holy shit.
I think that's part of the Agenda 2030. I think that is like water's being traded on the stock market. It's been traded for quite a while, as well as there's things we can't ignore now. Like they've been doing it for quite a while, but there's definitely things that they can't ignore. And yeah, everyone, if you are online, please say hi. I believe we're live on your channel too. Hey, Rob. Usually,
we're just live on YouTube because I had, again, like tech problems. I had trouble with Rumble, and I don't know what's going on. It was weird.
Oh, good. We have somebody.
I just abandoned it. You know?
Yay, good. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So yeah, so the agenda, part of the agenda is to suddenly they're going to have all these water resources that they're going to start charging for.
Wow. That's crazy.
Like, it is. And so we can dive into a whole bunch of things today. So I only brought up Lake Mead and Lake Powell because they've actually made mainstream news. They came up this week about how depleted they are. So I went to Grok and I kind of got all the stats about like where they're at, what water they support. They support multiple states from California, Arizona. There's about 6 to 8 states. There's also, I saw a lady crying this morning about the plans for the data centers by the Great Lakes.
Yeah. Like what yeah. You know, it's interesting. Like if they could solve the water problem here in the US and Canada, all they have to do is start desalination plants. Like over in the Middle East, like in the GCC countries, the Gulf Coast countries or whatever, like they all use desalination plants. I think they use desalination plants in Iran too, which is crazy. Like, so you would think, like, why is the United States and Canada so behind that we're not implementing that?
Because we have enough water. We have all these can't even speak. We have all these massive lakes and rivers that we didn't know. So the depletion hasn't just been in the last year or two, although it's accelerated. The plan's accelerated. When I looked into it, it goes way back to like 2016, 18. Like they were already doing this. So they're saying the data centers need it, but there's different reports in different states. Like I looked at one data center that got shut down and it was depleting water, but apparently the state, like nothing had been approved. The state hadn't approved anything. The water companies hadn't approved anything. And the data center and the company themselves hooked up to the water systems and drained the water without anybody knowing it. So I already, I've actually been following people. I know you probably didn't have a chance to look at it. I sent you a bunch of clips on Instagram, but there are physical human beings on mission right now going to the lakes and the rivers. Specifically, there's one lady I've been following in Colorado, and they're all dry.
No way.
And she's physically standing in them and posting almost daily saying, look, everyone, you can't avoid this. Like there's no water. They're dried up. So I got this big download after the Lionsgate. Like we went through the Lionsgate and on Monday, my team came to me and said, this is a priority for all of you because it's going to start getting in everyone's face depending on where you are. And even here in Canada, I've got a creek that I go to quite often. I finally got there on Saturday. There's a little bit of water in there, but not much. And that's a salmon creek. That's where the salmon come up to spawn.
Wow.
So we're kind of we're in that point where we can't ignore it anymore. And I feel like there's people out there watching. There's people out there who are going to get all riled up about this. And you need to, because we can't expect the Galactics are going to rescue us from this. This is up to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This whole situation's getting like out of control really fast. You know what I mean?
Really fast. Like it's accelerated. And if you look at the plans for the data centers, like how aggressive it's become, we don't need them. And people need to start questioning, like, why are they even putting, like, they're putting numbers massive more. They're building more and more and more that go on for miles and miles and miles. They're telling us they need water. They don't. I think I sent you something. There's a fellow in the Midwest who has built data centers, and he went to the council. I just can't remember what state it was, if it was Idaho or something, but he went to the council because they refused his information. He was contacting them to get, like, you guys don't need water. So he went to the council meeting, and it's been filmed. And he literally stood up and said, the data centers do not need water. You're all being lied to.
Wow.
So this is a big lie. And if you think about it, we can't survive. That's what this one's saying. We can't survive without water.
Yeah.
We absolutely need it. Humans will not survive 3 days or more without water.
See, like, I haven't noticed any difference in the water levels here in Pittsburgh. Like,
Exactly.
you know, like across the bridges, and like, you know, like everything's been like kind of, you know, normal here. I don't know. I mean, we're getting massive amounts of rain too. So
yeah,
I mean,
that's the illusion. So some areas are getting floods and massive amounts of water. So there's an illusion that the water levels are fine. But if we think about it, like, everything is connected. So if things start to dry up here in the West or wherever they're drying up, even the water that's going to be going to your rivers is going to be not there. And that's what I think what's happening is we're getting an accelerated, like, we need to look at this now and not wait till 2030. Like, everyone out there who has ideas, who, like, there are solutions. I don't personally have any, but I want to look at it. I want to dive into it today.
I mean, someone said it's because they're going to try to monetize water more. Like,
they're already monetizing.
We already pay for water. Like, everybody
pay
gets
for water.
Bill, you know what I mean?
People go and buy. There are areas people go and buy water because they don't have water.
I buy water because I don't want to drink the water out of the sink. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I spend a lot of money on water. You know, I mean, like, it's you know, and I still pay a water bill. You know,
there's there's water bills, and then I just also heard that and California might not be the only place. There are literally people who live on land across the U.S. and Canada that have wells. Like, they capture rainwater and they have wells, and the local governments and federal governments are trying to find a way to tax them for that now too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's so crazy is that the situation's gotten so out of hand that you can't even trust the rainwater anymore because they're cloud seeding, aka chemtrailing all the time. So who knows what's in that water? You know what I mean? That's the water that we're all drinking.
True. Although there probably is some kind of filter system that can be set up to take care of it. But yeah. So just like Lake Mead, even here in Canada, Lake Mead and Lake Powell are in the have been in the news this last week.
It's just like the data centers with the chemtrails. Like, they don't need to be doing any of that. They don't need to be doing chemtrails. They don't need to be doing data centers. It's just a big like fiasco. Like, I always say the people that control us, they think they're smart because they're rich. But like, most of the time these people get put in power because they're rich and like they know people. Like, rarely ever does someone very intelligent get put into power because, like, look at what these people are doing. Look what they're turning our world into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just idiots. They're fucking morons. You know what I mean?
Well, and if we think about the other agenda is all the fires, right? That we talked about last show. So if there's no water, how can they fight the fires?
Yeah. And you know, it's weird. I wonder if that's why I had a problem streaming to Rumble today. I wonder if somehow someone knew somewhere that, like, we were going to put this out.
Okay. I got a funny story for you. Two funny stories. Before I tried to log on, I said the word X-Files out loud, and suddenly the X-Files was playing in the background. And I couldn't figure out where it was. It just started on its own.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was an episode that I started watching on Pluto last night, and it was like it took me about 5 minutes to find out where the frick it was, because suddenly the X-Files thing came on as soon as I said that word, so that was interesting.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, suddenly, because I flipped into something on Sunday, suddenly Monday I have no cable access.
Really?
They did an upgrade at the back end. So I wanted to talk about this today. And I worked with AI. I was going to call, and I don't need to call. What they did is they're trying to force everyone from any type of old technology to no longer be able to use that. So I found out I have a flat screen that's, LG, it's good. It's fine. Like, there's no reason for me to replace it, but it's not smart technology. They want everybody on the smart technology for surveillance. So they did an upgrade on Sunday night, and I no longer have access to use my box, which I don't care about, because I'm just going to get rid of it eventually anyway.
I'll tell you what, like, I have a, like, okay, but see behind me where those posters are on the wall, like on the wall?
Yeah.
Like, behind those posters is a TV, and it's hooked up to cable, and I haven't used it for 3 years. Like, it literally collects dust. Like, I'm on my computer all day, whether I'm doing work or I'm watching something. And I have multiple computers now on a phone, so like, I don't need the TV ever. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm almost wondering, like, just you and I talking about it though. Like, I'm almost so great. Get this, I'm literally ordering an analog cable, RCA cable today.
With an analog cable, what's that?
So it's how we used to hook it up. So I can no longer use an HDMI cable. That's what they did. They broke it.
Why don't you just use apps like Pluto TV and shit like that?
No. I am doing that, but it's got me thinking. Maybe they want to get rid of cable. Maybe they want to get rid of the radio systems. They want to get rid of all the analog information. So for now, no, I'm still paying for it. So for now, but I was being given, I need the analog cable for other things, because guess what? I can't even buy it in a store. I have to order it. Like, they no longer sell it.
I'm so pissed at the way the world's turning out.
It's not good, guys. It's not good. But the good piece that I want to share with you all, and we've been talking about this forever, and Rob and I are very nostalgic. Please focus on a physical media that you like and start collecting it, because that's like big news, right? Like, even since our last show, somebody, and I reshared this on Instagram yesterday, somebody put something in one of the books, and it got tracked to, this is a regular person, it got tracked to Amazon, and they're also buying books and deleting them, purging them.
I heard about that too. Yeah, we live in this is a fucking clown show.
It is. So we're to take that anger and channel in. So if you like Rob has books. So if you like books, start going to your thrift stores and grabbing the books that you want. Grab order the DVDs and the CDs that you want, because eventually, like, there's that agenda. There's this big, like, delete our history, get rid of our history. And I don't want to get rid of our history, because we're the historians, Rob. We are the historians.
Yeah.
Like, right? So if something happened and heaven forbid that the internet went down for a while, we wouldn't have access to each other, but we also wouldn't have access to our shows. Like, right? And you've already gone through this a couple of times, right? With channels being removed. So we have to, so it's good to have both, like digital, absolutely. But the thing we've been lied to about is that we need all these data centers, and who approved them all? Who's paying for them all? Who like, did they come to everybody? They are going through, some channels. But if you're all worried about it, I
know who's behind it all. I do know one of the people. I mean, Amanda Joan of Hart told me that it's Lex Wexner, and he's somehow related into Epstein. Like, but like, he's some kind of I can't remember.
I just got my God bump, so that means it goes all the way back to Epstein on the Epstein files.
Yeah.
Okay, where should we start? What do you want to look at first? We can just start. Yeah.
Should we just ask? Should the Akashic records? Is there hope for humanity at this point, or is it just
like it's 20?
Like
how about the 2030 agenda that they're pushing so hard on? Like, do we still have an opportunity to stop things? I feel that we do. But
I'm gonna also plug in my headphones, because I'm having trouble hearing you, because I'm on this little laptop, and it's like
Okay. Yeah, do that, and I'll just make sure that my volume is up.
And by the way, guys, I use wired headphones now because I don't trust Bluetooth. I really don't trust Bluetooth. Like, and I know people are gonna laugh at me, but like, you end up with cancer in your ears. Keep using Bluetooth. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
So I'll tell you, when I was troubleshooting about the cable, right? Okay, I never wanted cable, but what happened was when I ordered internet, it was less expensive to get the package with cable. That's how that worked. So over the last few years, I've got a little box that has a hard drive on it. So I've recorded movies for my cat. So we have little movies to watch. So I can turn off my laptop and we can watch recorded movies, right? So that's kind of what I did. So that's going to be gone. They're upgrading that too. And what I found out with AI is the new boxes, you can't record anything local. It all goes into the cloud, and then they delete them. So and I said, am I going to be able to use my TV? And she's like, no. So they're really pushing the smart technology and moving us all into this future that none of us have asked for. So that's why now there's this other timeline of younger people than you and I, Rob, going to the thrift stores and finding older TVs and older technology that they can just watch things and not be analyzed. And actually the AI shared with me, yeah, you don't want a smart TV because you're just going to be monitored.
I wanted to show you this. This is from Walter Schultz. He said the biggest data centers are over aquifers.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So let's look at this, and then we can look at some of the other things.
He also says they're pumping water down to bunkers.
Yeah, I think that they are, and I also think that some of those data centers are actually think about in the old days they used to have these water towers. So I feel like they've set up like water tower containers in some of these massive centers. They're not data centers at all. They're holding water.
We used to. You want to hear something funny? We used to spray paint those water towers when I was a kid.
I remember. Yeah, I remember like people would have graffiti. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, we used to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so right now, this is where we are in. We are all being shown this. This is a global problem, and we're being put in a very uncomfortable position. The Hanged Man, okay, and it's forcing nostalgia. It's forcing those of us who remember to be historians and to remember how things were good. Like even when the internet first arrived in the 90s, it was still good. Yeah. But we also were naive.
Yeah.
We actually didn't know that the world was being run by not only elites, but also, dark alliance CTs that are managing them as well, right? It's going to force us all to step into our power, Ace of Swords, be those warriors, be those Jedis. So you know what? A couple of years ago too, I absolutely was not expecting us to be at this point now either. But I can see that humanity, all of us in all other timelines, have handed our power over to everyone. We just like the governments, here you go. Like you take care of everything. Here you go. And we just trust, and our parents too, and ancestors. We just trust that we were being organized by the right people, not understanding about this other agenda. So what's happening is it literally is going to force us all to step into our power. So we're not to sit back if it's in your area and it's really upsetting you. You need to go to the meetings. You need to gather with the other people and stand up for your right for water, because the more of us that do that, the less the plans will just disintegrate and fall apart.
Yeah. I even got involved with the local. I started talking to a local lady here who's on Facebook that she's just involved with the data center meetings, and she sent me information about the next one, but I didn't go. I was trying to get my friend to go, because he's kind of, into it.
So I was going to say, connect in with her and ask her about what the local water levels are. Because I know I started to look at this with Julia last week, because I just got the download on the Monday, and then her and I had a podcast last week. But she on the show looked into the river and the water levels around her, and it did show that there was a percentage that had gone down.
Wow.
So some of us are going to see it. We're going to be in physical areas where there's like nothing where there used to be water before. And the story is the weather and drought. The weather and drought. The other thing is like if there's floods in crazy areas. So like we're having drought here, next province over, they're having floods, which is crazy. Like it's flipped. Same with, there's a big story. I don't know if you know about Indiana. Your state is in a state of emergency from massive flooding. that's just happened since the 11th of August.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Yeah. I was wondering
So they've had no, like, there's areas of Indiana that have no power. And they haven't had power for 7 days.
Oh, holy shit.
So what I get from the water, what I like to look at too, and you keep an eye on questions, is I think with the flooding, there's a couple of things going on. I feel like they're moving water. I feel like they found a way with the flooding to move water that people are not going to suspect that they're moving it. And then the other thing is that when people see rain and flooding, like just like you and I talking about your rivers, if you see water, you think, well, okay, we're fine. We have water. We're okay. And we are to stay grounded and stay at peace. And obviously, everyone, please don't go into panic, because this is for entertainment purposes only. But make sure you've got some extra water on hand for sure.
Well, plus we supposedly in every town here. I don't know if this is where you live, but in every town here we have those huge water towers that they've been here since like forever. You know,
we don't have them anymore. We have reservoirs, but I'm concerned about the reservoirs. I've actually been asked, like, I've been praying and setting intentions that our reservoirs get refreshed, because we've not had any rain in my region for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, but someone also told me about those water towers I'm speaking of, that there's like weird like frequency devices on the side of them. Like someone showed me pictures and I was like, what is that? I'm like, why is that on the side of a water tower? It makes no sense. So what are they really using these water towers for too?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Because I grew up with a water tower, but they got rid of it.
Huh. Yeah.
And there's a gas station there now. So I don't let you think of a question too. So I'm going to just ask overall in general. Let's just look at look at your country, because you are at like the top. The U.S. is the top for the number of data centers that have been.
I'll just tell you this also, like a little side note. Like they've become all defunct of putting anything reasonable around where anybody lives. Like where I live, and I've seen other places too. This has become the dollar store and vape store capital of the world. All it is these like Hindu vape stores. I don't have anything against anybody. I'm not racist or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, that's who tends to own them. And then also there's dollar stores everywhere. There's like a dollar store every 10 feet. It's fucking crazy. It's like, why are they doing this stupid shit that nobody wants? You know what I mean? Like, we don't need another dollar store, you know?
No, so my feeling is like the behind the scenes that maybe who's ever owning those dollar stores are using it as a front to move lots of money and product.
Yeah, probably, right?
Because I know here, I used to go down to the States and at least a couple times a month, and obviously I'm not doing that right now, but I used to go because we didn't have a lot of dollar stores here, but now we do. Yeah. And they do, and more seem to be popping up. So I think that's a really good point, Rob, that we need to sort of focus on the patterns of what's popping up, and then question kind of maybe what dollar stores are making tons of money. They're making tons of money. Like all these other businesses are going into bankruptcy, and dollar stores are just
they're booming. They're booming because they're putting up stores everywhere. Like literally, there's probably like, let me count one. Like I know there's two right where my apartment is. You know what I mean? Like there's literally like there only needs, and then there's one down the road, and then there's another one down the road. So in like a 5-mile vicinity of me, there's there's 4 dollar stores. Yeah. Like, what is the need for that? You know what I mean? It's just like, and everything that in there is all like wackadoo shit. You know what I mean?
Wackadoodle. That's my new favorite word. Wackadoodle.
You can find some good stuff, but I mean, most of the time it's like, you know, I mean, not that like the regular consumerism is any better.
Some consumers they're buying their food there. Like that's how bad. Like especially here in Canada too. So it's I'm consciously aware of what's going on. And I remember for years I had judgment against dollar stores. Like I didn't actually want to be buying a lot of stuff in there. But now, I mean, I don't know about the States, but here in Canada, you're lucky to find something under $3.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. They provide a good deal. But around here where we become inundated with dollar stores, it's almost to a point where it's like, there used to be like a J.C. Penney's and a Montgomery Ward's. I don't know if you remember the store Montgomery Ward. They used to be that. They took that out. They put in a dollar store and a U-Haul. I'm like the most pointless shit. They like this one point in the town.
You know why? I just got this download. They're working on models that they can completely automate with AI and robots.
In the town next door to me, and this is now senseless. This is complete. You're going to be like, this is insane. In the town next door to me, they took out the Rite Aid, because I guess Rite Aid's closed down. Instead of putting something meaningful there, they put in a 24/7 or a Phantom Fireworks. Like who?
Yeah.
Like besides the 4th of July, when does anybody buy fireworks? You know what I mean?
So
like,
I think that's what we need to pay attention to, is that the forces that be that are making all these decisions for our local areas and don't care about us at all. Like not at all. It's in our face now. Like you can.
And obviously, people are not smart. You know what I mean?
Well, we're gonna have to get smart. Oh, I have a story for you.
I think we're smart. I think we are smart.
No, but even the regular folks. I have a story for you since our last show, because we had the Lionsgate on Saturday, right? So I didn't get a chance to ask Rock today how many states and provinces are in a state of emergency. We went into a state of emergency on August 8th on Lionsgate. Because we had massive fires that got out of control and moved like 20,000 people out of their homes in about 4 hours.
Damn.
So they're not near me, but guess what? Guess where they are? Right on a massive lake, Okanagan Lake. And I bet you anything, there's an agenda to put a data center in there. So those individuals, I saw little sparks from the regular people starting to question what was going on. So, and if you think about it, so Spokane, Washington was just before that. That was on the 1st. And so that was 60,000 people. So within a week, I had 80,000 people got wiped out of their areas in and around me. So I'm like, okay, this is high alert. But the piece of resistance I want to share with you about, a regular person at Walmart told me about it. I didn't know, because I don't watch the news a lot of times. So I was actually out running errands for my kitty. And it was the lady at the checkout that told me that we went into a state of emergency.
You know, one thing I just thought of, this is a good question. I don't know if this is something that we just ask the audience or ask the question, but like, I wonder if they're opening data centers in like Iran and Russia, or like, if this is just like,
no, if you can go do research, you can even ask Grok or ChatGPT. No, the massive amount where data centers are is your country. You're at the top of the list.
Wow.
There's very few over the Middle East. And I think even Julia checked for the UK. I mean, there's a bunch there. And there's a bunch here in Canada. But I know I can see this aggressive agenda. Like if I look at where a lot of the fires are, they are near a lot of water resources. And that's what they want. They want to be close to the water resources. So that big fire that moved a bunch of communities that, like near me, where I used to go for holidays, it's called the Okanagan. The Okanagan Lake is massive. That's where the Ogopogo was supposed to be. Like it's massive, it's deep, there's a lot of water. So, and then they can just say, oh, it's drought, right? It's climate control, it's climate problems, it's drought. So I saw a lot of regular people start to question that narrative. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. And same with Spokane, right? So Spokane, they're surrounded by water too. So they did vote the data center down, but it was a little bit too late, because the individuals had already decided they wanted that land.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if they want it, they'll do something to declare eminent domain.
Yeah. So I didn't check to see if Washington State was still in a state of emergency, but that means like Washington State and BC just above it, we both went into state of emergency within 8 days.
Yeah, and I going back to my friend Amanda Joan of Hart in Ohio, where she's been fighting the courts for like months, like about the data centers. Like
good, thank you,
Amanda.
Amanda.
Been the most person I've known that's been like really proactive on this for like months now. And what's crazy is it seems like they're trying to push people out of their farmland and the land they own. So these people own their homes, and they own farmland, and the government's trying to push them out of it to build fucking wacko centers. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's just absolute bullshit, you know.
It is, and it's not. We all have to see it now. Like we all have to come together. So 6 years ago, I got this download on a live about the children, about the tunnels and the children. I literally started crying because I had avoided looking at it for so long. Because I had people that were sending me information for years. I'm like, no, love and light, don't want to look at it. Like someone else is taking care of it, right? So now I know, like we went into state of emergency. Our air quality got bad, I think, on the Monday, because that was a Saturday. And I got the big download from my team saying, no, you guys all have to focus on the water and the data center, because they've been doing this behind the scenes. So the fact that Amanda was already on it, the fact that some people have already been on it, and I've always been worried about our water anyway, even though we have good water where I am, because probably in the background, I've been in meetings and I understood that that's really what they want. Yeah. They don't want the gold. They don't want the money. They don't care about any of us as humans. They want to control the water. So yeah, so it looks like we do have an opportunity to turn it around, which is good.
If you control the water, you control the world, basically.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask the question, and you can think about another question or see if anybody else has something. I'm going to ask if the data centers are actually being used for the water. Like if they're not even being used for AI, if they're just being used to store water or to move water. That would make sense, right?
Oh yeah, they seem pointless to me. If we already have AI, what do they have to store data for? And why does it have to store so much?
Yeah.
You know?
And I have a story about something else as well. Okay.
You know what? I just want to add one more thing.
Yeah.
I think maybe this is like, and this is for everybody in the audience. Maybe this is like our time to step up. Maybe this is what we were put here for. Maybe this is the true test. You know,
I got my God bumps. Absolutely. Because I grew up in an area with tons of water. We have the ocean, we have rivers, we have lakes. And when I went to the creek on Saturday, I was like, whoa, this is bad, because I know animals come and even feed off that water. So that means like the trees, the plants, growing our food, everything relies on water. Yes, we have enough water, but we don't if they've already been draining it, which it looks like Lake Mead and Lake Powell are two of the main ones right now, because they're supplying a bunch of states with water and power. So if there's no water, there's no power. Wow. As well. Yeah. Okay. So it's interesting. I just pulled a couple cards. We're just going to do some clarity. So I just ask in general, are the data centers actually water storage centers? So we got King of Wands, which right off the bat it looks like this is a mission for all of us. I feel like maybe this is why we've all been sleeping. I have had dreams with you, Rob, and a bunch of other people. Like we've been in a meeting talking about things. I haven't remembered that recently, but I do feel like this is more of like we're being told this is our mission right now, is to pay attention to the water resources wherever you are locally. We need to start sharing about it, because it's a global problem. It's not, and it might be happening in some areas and not in other areas. Okay. But it is a big problem. We have two cards that are connected to the water. We have 2 of Cups and we have 3 of Cups, which is about water. I want to ask for some clarity. So this is an opportunity that's being given to us. This is like a big veil being cleared out. Everyone, you need to look at this now. Even if you think you have water in your area, if all the water dries up in a bunch of other areas, then it's going to impact everyone. Like we're all connected. And then the bigger question is, we can't just accept, like a lot of the regular people think, they're just being still told it's climate change. But it makes no sense to me why, like, we're in drought and the province next door, who's usually always in drought, is being flooded.
Holy shit.
Right? And then we have 3 of Cups to celebrate. So we're to be proud of ourselves that we figured this out, and that we're all going to be on the same page about it. Okay. And we're not to be afraid about standing up for our water, because it's important. We all need it, no matter what our belief systems are. Everybody needs it. Our family needs it. Our friends need it. Okay. I'm just going to ask for clarity, because that was just like a general question. What else do we need to know about the data centers and water? 5 of Wands and 3 of Swords. So yeah, this is, So what we've been told about what they need is a lie. And because swords are about words. So all of the information that they've been feeding us about is a lie. So just like what I said to you, I'll reshare that clip with you, Rob, so you can look at it later, about the fellow. He's an older fellow that's he manages data centers. They do not need water. So we've been lied to about water. It's really 5 of Wands. So it's really going to become a major, like, mainstream news because of all of us, because of the digital soldiers, in about 5 weeks, which will take us to middle of September. Okay. So I'm not getting like a big major arcana that they're all doing that right now, but it's a big part of it for sure.
Wow. Hey, Angel Wings is in the chat. I haven't seen her in ages. I hope you're doing good, Jamie. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Where did you want to go next?
Actually, 23 Danny Bell just brought up something good, so bring that up, because I think that's important. Can you see it? It says, I find it interesting about all the card readers. I'm not just reading the cards, everyone. I'm actually getting downloads from the records. So can you see it?
Where is it at?
It's about the Galactic peace treaties, Ascension for All. Danny Bell 23.
I'm not seeing this. What?
Okay. I'll just address that because maybe you're new to my work. So I worked with the Galactic Alliance and all the Galactic teams directly for years. I started to question their information a year ago because some of the teams just give us information about what we want to hear, so we don't take action.
Yeah.
And I'm not about that anymore. I'm calling it actually the Galactic X-Files now because I want the truth. I want the truth for all of us. So if you're receiving intel from that information and it makes you feel comfortable, fantastic. But in the physical 3D reality, which is impacting all of us, we all need water. Full stop. So we've got regular people who don't even know about the Galactics, who have left their lives and are traveling around in their cars to take images of rivers and lakes that are gone. Everybody needs to know about that. The Galactics are not going to step in about that. We are like boots on the ground, everyone. We're the ones that have to do the work down here. You know, they're dragging out this whole like disclosure thing. That could be dragged out for another 2 years. I mean, I hope not.
Well, I mean, you make a good point because there are a lot of like paid influencers out there that are like, saying like trust the plan and
Yes, I'm questioning the plan. Rob, are you questioning the plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I said it to my friend today. My friend was saying something about like right and left, and I was like, dude, listen, I was like, if you haven't seen through it yet, I'm like, you gotta look at like the way the world is, and is anybody helping us right now? And the answer is no. Nobody is stepping up like really like.
They're doing their piece. They're doing what they can behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But I would love to think that they're going to come swoop in and help us. They will help us. I feel like how they're going to help us is they're going to download transmissions and schematics to many of you, because you all have a mission. You're all here for a reason. Some of you are so bright and so smart. You're supposed to be helping us with this water scenario.
Yeah.
So that's what it came in yesterday. It's like, absolutely. Do I believe that peace treaties are being created? Yeah. But how is that helping us right now if we need water? Right? Yeah. Rob and I have been waiting for disclosure for years, and I hope that it's this year. Oh, Rob, I did send you something. Someone had typed something out. I sent it to you on Instagram. Someone had typed out an agenda of like what we're supposed to be doing, and we are ahead of schedule with disclosure.
Yeah, I have it on my phone. Let me email it to myself, and then maybe I can pull it up.
Because what's really cool about what I saw that, and I feel like my team is feeding me this information as well to bring you all. So yeah, I'm all about the truth. Like, I just want to know the truth. I don't want us to all be sitting back thinking the Galactics are going to come and help us with the water. if they're actually, we're in meetings with them and they're saying, no, you guys are the starseeds on the ground. You have the ideas, like the salinization thing. Like, we all need to be questioning about this. Like, if we're low on water, why can't we be using the ocean water? Why can't that be changed? Like, this is the kind of stuff we need to ask about. I was not expecting us all to be here, everybody, honestly. Well, Rob is looking at that. Did you find it, Rob?
I opened up my email and I saw a letter from Rumble. I guess their studio's down, which is crazy.
Oh,
it's like,
it is crazy.
What's going on?
So while Rob's looking for that, I went to Grok today just to talk about Lake Mead and Lake Powell. Okay. So Lake Mead is roughly 26 to 27% full. And it's for the Arizona, it's on the Arizona-Nevada border. It was formed by the Hoover Dam. It actually is a primary reservoir for the lower Colorado River. It serves Arizona, California, Nevada. Major users are also all of Las Vegas, as well as the Phoenix and Tucson area, and some of Southern California. Okay. And then we have Lake Powell, which is on the Utah-Arizona border. And it is, it's like 21 to 22% full. So it's very low as well. And it is at it's at an all-time record low. It is down more than 30 feet from a year ago. And I bet you and some of you might live in those areas. Some of you might know there's probably massive data centers that have gone up in those areas as well. And it also provides and supports Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, New Mexico, as well as some other areas in Arizona, California, and Wyoming as well. So these are just two. I had somebody jump on my podcast yesterday and talk to me about someone had bought out all the water rights in Florida. And they had just been made aware of that. So the positive side of this whole data center issue is we're all now investigating what have they been doing? Yeah, when I looked at it yesterday, just generally, it looks like they've been draining the water for quite a while.
Wow. Holy shit. Like that's it's okay.
Yeah, so we do. We have a bunch of teams that have the technology to help us, but they also want to push us into our power because we and our other generations beforehand have handed over our power to the governing bodies, right? Yeah. I live in a rainforest, and it's been really drought conditions for like 2 years now, which I'm not happy about. Wow. I like the rain. Mm-hmm. What would you like us to look at, Rob? Or did you see a question?
Wait, that's a video. In my files, I'm looking for that. Whatever you think is good. I'm looking for that.
I was just trying to think. I saw something this morning. I think it was Lake Mead. It could have been Lake Powell. That the water is so low that people used to live there. There's a town that's been underwater for years. And that you can go visit that town now because it's so dry. The town is above ground. So I think the story was that they were flooding the area to make this reservoir, the lake, so that people could go, so that more people could have water. And then people that were living there were going to be taxed quite highly, so they left. That was their incentive to leave. And then and now you can actually go. Yeah, now you can actually go to the town and like see this old town that people used to live.
I shared that document. Like I don't know if you can see it.
I can. So we are. It's not fully on screen. Can you move it? Are you able to move it up a little bit?
It's we'll have to do it like part by part because like it's really big. So it's
okay. That's okay.
So we can start at the beginning and.
Sure. Yeah. Why don't we look at that? So somebody posted this. Everyone. Someone had typed up like the kind of the agenda. And to me, this isn't about the water. To me, this is more about UFO disclosure, about getting everybody sort of on board with being on the same page. Yeah. So if you look at it, between 2020 and 2024, even the David Grush hearing, was that back then, or was that just now, or did he just have another one? Rob, you know more about this, so why don't you just go through the phases? And just
so the
see what you
one
think.
Is this is what they're saying. They're saying phase one was the demonstrating existence, which was 2017 to 2020, and then you had the New York Times article, which was about the Tic Tac, and then the Pentagon videos released of the videos, I believe, over Virginia, which were the UFOs over Virginia, and then that led to the 2020 to 2024, where you had the David Grush hearing. The New Jersey orbs and drones. We were all part of that. We covered that.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah.
Jeremy Corbell, jellyfish UFO. Jake Barber, giant egg UFO. That's a big story. And then Chris Bledsoe. Everybody knows about his story. If you don't, look him up. He has an interesting story. He makes prophecies and stuff like that. And he's an experiencer. He posted orb videos on social media. And then phase three, this is where we're at right now. And then we're going to go into like what they think is going to happen. So phase three is Neil deGrasse Tyson published his book about aliens, which I think if he is doing that, then I think he's just trying to jump on the bandwagon.
Well, he because apparently, because I didn't know about him specifically, but he had probably in the last 3 months has jumped on the bandwagon. Like he's flipped to be talking pro UFOs and everything. So he may very well have published a book. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and we when another person we talked about that's trying to milk the disclosure thing is Dr. Phil. Did you ever see that?
I think he's been. Yeah, I think he's been hired. I think he's been hired to be.
No.
Yeah, I feel like he's been hired to be a spokesperson for the regular people who will believe what he says. Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, what kind of joke is this? I was like, I'm not going to take UFO advice from Dr. Phil. You know what I mean? It's like this man has spent years, doing like daytime talk shows about like, you know what I mean? Women's love affairs and stuff. It's like, what the fuck does he know? Excuse my language again, but what does he know the first thing about any kind of aliens or UFOs. Like he never was into it before. I mean, I don't know him
No.
personally, but, like,
I feel like they've hired him to be like a spokesperson. I can pull a card or two on that. That's what I feel. Because even on the list, look at that. Barack Obama also talked about aliens being real.
Just to show you real quick before we get into this, someone who shows like interest about being into this stuff is Dan Aykroyd. Like that's someone who's like had a genuine, real interest in ufology.
Dan
It's like,
Aykroyd, if you find this podcast, we would like to talk to you.
yeah, for real. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you know. And then the Barack Obama says aliens are real, and then the Department of War releases UFO files, which I still don't think were that great. And then NASA releases image of UFOs near the moon, sun, and Mars. I just posted a video last night of a kid named Miles Moonbases who used to take pictures of the moon. But anyway, and then our alien artifacts on the moon and Mars confirmed. So I feel that's probably coming. And then here's phase 4. So I guess this is the trusted acknowledgement public acceptance stage, which will be 2028, 2029. All living former presidents reveal they've always known about extraterrestrials. Apollo era astronauts reveal they've always known about extraterrestrials. They already have, though. We already know that. Like Buzz Aldrin came back from the mission shook, if they even went to space. But like that's a whole other topic.
Well, that was even on the Simpsons, where they just came out of a movie studio and then they signed autographs on the outside the stage door.
Yeah. Hollywood elites and prominent celebrities reveal they've always known about extraterrestrials. President confirms existence and addresses the nation. Public acceptance without ontological shock. Yeah, that's what's interesting. You know, like the people that have come on my show and that like have, you know, that I've asked about the disclosure. Like I had L.A. Marzulli on the other day. He's a Christian researcher, but like I like to get everybody's opinion on. I like to have all different kinds of guests on.
Absolutely,
you know? And he's been like doing this for a while. He knows like a lot about alien contact and alien abductions and stuff. But he said it's like it seems like the public does not even care. You know what I mean about like you know it's like it's like we've been told that aliens exist and it's like the public's like okay well you know what I mean.
So just you even showing that, I think what I'm going to do when I'm out doing errands is I'm going to start asking everyone what the big story is, what they're focusing on, to see if I can get a feel for things. I feel like, and I know as much as the World Cup was really a positive energy for everyone, I also feel like it was a major distraction for a very long time for a lot of this stuff to be set up. Like I feel like they were go ahead. I feel like they were moving a lot of water and they were creating all the fires while all of that was going on and nobody was paying attention.
I got to give my moderator Jason credit on this one. He says the Dr. Phil Grush interview moved the needle a little bit. Okay, so he says if anybody actually watched it, he said
was David Grush on? Was David Grush? Did they do an interview together?
You know, because when you're famous, you can just have David Grush on your show, but he won't come on my show because it's not.
Well, he should, and I'll just affirm that he does. Okay, he should come on your show. So I think like we've talked about this, but I do feel like obviously there's an agenda with the disclosure, and they want to roll it out in a controlled manner. So I just asked about Dr. Phil. So when they've done when I'm talking about I'm talking about like the White Hats, the Alliance, they do kind of a temperature test to see where the collective is at. Because if y'all don't know about me, I'm at the pyramids over 30 years ago, and I'm literally saying to the Galactics, just land the frickin' ships, like let everybody know you exist so we can get on with like peace on earth and get on with the good stuff. And they literally said to me, we can't do that. There will be mass hysteria. Yeah. So they still do like a temperature, like we're all excited about it, but they're still doing like a check-in to see what the collective, how they feel about it. And you're right. That's probably why they brought Dr. Phil in, was to make it more mainstream. Yeah.
Also, not just that, but like some of these people might actually want to grift off disclosure too. That's
absolutely,
if they don't want to do if they don't want to do mediocre sized podcasts or whatever, like if they just go after the big shows, that means they're looking to get to it in front of a big audience so they can,
absolutely. And podcasts are hot right now, like much hotter than like cable shows as well. I don't even know if Dr. Phil still even has a cable show. So just that topic about him, about what his role is. So they took the 9 of Swords. There's still a great deal of anxiety for many individuals on the planet to think that we're not alone, because they've lied to us for years telling us that we are alone. Okay. So then we have 2 of Wands. Like that means like the Alliance teams have been monitoring the feed. So they brought Dr. Phil and 9 of Pentacles to make everyone relax about the topic. So there's less because of like what we just talked about, we're all ready for it. Many individuals still think that it's just in the movies. And I'll give you another example, Rob, because I maybe 6 months ago, I was dropping that with everyone. Like, oh, I talk about UFOs, and then I would watch their eyes roll into the back of their head and change the subject. So now somebody else asked me before the weekend, and I said, oh, I do podcasts, and sometimes I'm talking about UFOs. And that individual who 6 months ago didn't want to talk about it at all was like, oh, that's really interesting. So I thought, okay, well, that took 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah. And that individual is actually from South America. So I know, like, in many countries in South America, that is more mainstream than it is even here. Like, we've all had to fight for it. And you all want to know, Canada still has not released any files, and they have not acknowledged anything.
Wow. That's I mean,
so I come and talk to all of you because I can't really talk to too many people here unless they've had experiences. Right. Yeah. So did you hear?
Like,
go ahead.
I don't know. I just feel like we're in scary times, you know?
We are, but we're to be on high alert. We're obviously we're still to keep positive, like still be grateful every day. Like Source said to me last week, don't get into the state of emergency in your province. Just be grateful for what you have. And then I was wondering if the state of emergency is just like a flag even to all of us saying, okay, this area is in drought conditions. And same with Washington State, drought conditions. Same with Oregon and California. California's been in that area for years, right? So we've had smoke. Our air quality's been really bad. It was not too bad yesterday, but that's impacting me and my cat. It's impacting many, many people. So, but I was reminded to just be grateful, home that we have water to drink, all of that, and to not get pulled into hysteria. I also see that they're unfolding things to not let the masses get into hysteria. Like, remember the lockdowns? Remember how crazy everybody went with that?
That was a test, I believe, too. That was a test.
Absolutely. Like, oh, you can't buy so many things. You can't do this. You can't do that. And people were just standing in lineups for hours and panicking and right.
Buying up all the toilet paper. They literally put people into a toilet paper scare. You remember? I remember looking at this guy. I remember I was at Rite Aid where my old apartment was, and like this guy was like, he had a cart full of toilet paper. I looked at him. I was like, dude, what are you doing, man? I'm like, is it that important? Like, just, you know what I mean? Like I was like, you're acting neurotic right now. I said that to him. I was like, it
was definitely an experiment. Yeah, it's definitely an experiment.
We got a good question. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No. Ask the question. Go ahead.
Okay, this is from Eric. He says, Pink Bella, can you ask if all this disclosure is just a distraction to take our focus off the Agenda 2030 and AI data center takeover?
Ooh, that's a good question. I just got my God bumps. Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. I don't feel, well, I mean, Rob talks to a lot of different people. I've been less focused on disclosure the last few weeks because, like I said, I got that transmission, download on Monday that, okay, this is important now. Like the water issue is important for all of us. Okay. So yeah, let's just ask from the records. Is even the disclosure and even the files and everything, has this been a distraction to take us off Agenda 2030? I'm assuming everything to do with the water is Agenda 2030. Like I'm assuming it's the whole thing about the smart cities, the digital ID. You'll have nothing and be happy about it. That's what I heard this morning. You'll have nothing and be happy about it. So we have Page of Pentacles. We have the Tower, but it came in upside down. So that's actually good because that was their original agenda. And we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is destiny. So, okay, let me just think about that. Page of Pentacles. They've been forcing everyone to focus on lack and poverty consciousness, not having enough. So they've been focusing the collective, and we're more aware of it, but it still impacts us, right? Because we're very empathetic. So they've been focusing everyone, like splitting the groups, like just what Rob and I talked about, the dollar stores. Like, even the department stores can't make it anymore. They're all in bankruptcy, but the model for dollar stores can make it. Right. And that's like Walmart's doing great in our mall, but everything else that was big, like is gone. Okay. So we have the Tower card. So it came in upside down. So I want to ask clarity about it. So it absolutely was a distraction, but it's changed now. So I feel like it's part of it. I feel like they're doing a whole bunch of pieces at the same time, but let's just ask clarity about the Wheel of Fortune. We have the 8 of Wands as well as judgment, which is actually, this is like a big shock. So, so it was going to be, even what we're talking about is super important, and it's something that we all have to focus on, because this is the big shock, I think, for everyone even today, about realizing, like, we might think we have water, we're lured into, we can buy water, we can buy drinks, we can, because we're in a good space right now, but the plan was to control humanity, like the tower card, but it came upside down, which is good. So it's a big shock, it's a big surprise, but we can turn it around. 8 of Wands. Okay, so yeah. So I think the big shock, even for me, is that the Agenda 2030 is still a timeline that's in progress. And I feel like the reason that timeline is still in progress is because there's still a percentage of the population that still doesn't get it. And they're feeding that timeline. So they're the ones. So we have to be really clear about how we're using technology, what we want technology for, and also, now that we know that we don't actually need water for the data centers for AI, and who asked us if we even wanted that? Like, do we all need AI that badly that we like, right? That we'd give up water for it? I don't think so.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, 100%. It's like, I don't know. I'm just like so, flabbergasted about what's really going on in the world.
Yeah.
It's like, I wonder what there's. I mean, we won't get a direct answer, but I'm wondering, like, why are they trying to hoard all this water? Like, what is the whole purpose behind that? Do you think they're taking it to Inner Earth or something to, like?
I feel like it's 2 agendas. I feel like they're storing the water so then they can just say, hey, y'all want water? Like, I know part of the 2030 agenda, because I've seen it, I think it's been in movies as well, where they want to digitize everything, and they want you to be able to go and scan your ID to be able to get water.
Yeah.
So then the machine can just come back and say, sorry, don't have enough credits for water, no water today. And then, right? And then the other story is that they're storing water because many of the elites are underground. So we maybe can split that up and look at it 2 ways. So let's look at if the water depletion that's being stored in some of the data centers, again, for entertainment purposes only, is that being used for this agenda, 2030 agenda, for scanning and getting water that way. 6 of Cups. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. 10 of Pentacles. So yeah, so we're going to be like, the 2030 agenda is to wipe out the nostalgia and the memories of how easily we used to get water. Yeah. So that's the agenda, right? It's like, you and I can just turn, like, you might not drink it out of the tap, but the water can come from the tap. So if all the water is drained, then they can just have the story of there's no water. You're going to have to order water, that kind of thing, right? Ace of Pentacles, it's all about money. And what I just noticed there's it's kind of like a garden and a fence, and there's water behind it. So yeah, they're storing the water. Part of it is they're storing water for money to be able to charge everyone for water access. Because as humans, we need water, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's look at if they're storing the water for the elites, apparently, that are underground, that will have water access and we won't have water. Like these underground cities. Has anyone been talking about that recently? Is that old news?
I have Gene Decode coming on soon. I'm gonna ask him about that.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, you touch, because I haven't seen a lot of individuals that like Gene Decode that are up about talking about it. So I think everyone that you have that's like a big name, Rob, you need to ask them what they know about the water agenda, because this is a big point for us right now.
Yeah.
Is Gene Decode on today?
No, not for like a week or something like that.
Okay, well that's cool though. Okay. So yeah, because there's different stories, right? Like there's different stories that the elites have been arrested, that they're gone, and I've looked at all these stories. So there's truth to all of the stories, but whether or not like everything's completely wrapped up in a nice little bow and it's completed, not sure. Okay. So just asking about water being stored to go to the elites underground. Yeah. Well, whoever's
Someone. Oh, sorry. I just want to tell you this. This is.
Yeah.
I had Dr. Juliet Engel on my show. I sent you the link. For
Yeah,
it.
I haven't had a chance to watch yet, but I will.
He talked a little bit about like there's like this underground thing going on at Disneyland, like with the MK Ultra and stuff. That like,
Yeah.
and it's weird shit's going on. She said she was like an MK Ultra person, and she said that she would get dropped off at Disneyland or whatever. I guess she was in California, so Disneyland. And this was when she was being fully mind controlled at Presidio, and they would give her no food or no drink, and she would have to stand there in the park. Listen to this, you're not going to believe this.
Wow.
She would have to stand there in the park and find a daddy who's separated from his family and coerce him to buy her food, and then get on a ride with her and catch him like touching her in some kind of weird way, and then they would take a photo of it and blackmail that person. And that was the whole, like a bunch of different kids. Supposedly they had a bunch of different kids do that. I mean, should I believe this? It's like it's like, it seems crazy, but I don't put it past anything.
Disney World is the one in Florida. It's the
Disney World's in Orlando and Disneyland in California.
Was she talking about Disneyland or Disney World? It was
probably. She said it's underneath both. She said
I absolutely agree, and I feel like there's probably like they use the tunnel systems between both of them. Like there's a tunnel system that goes between both of them, which is crazy, but just to wrap up what we were just talking about, same card came forward in the exact same position. So the individuals that are managing the water to charge us all are also managing the water for themselves. So we can call them the elites. We can call them like the Dark Alliance, the reptilians. Like there's still cities underground. There's still things going on down there that hasn't been completed. They've lulled us into into safety, that we're okay because everything seems okay right now. And it's not something, we looked at the cards today, so it's not something that's going to happen fast, but what's already happened has happened fast. Like they've accelerated the plan in the last 2 years, and definitely this year as well, definitely this summer. 7 of Cups, which can be a psyop. So does that mean like they're not underground? Let's just see. What is it? 7 of Swords. It looks like there's like potentially like some of them might be still around, but some of them are not underground anymore. But it doesn't mean that someone's not still doing that. I would like the Galactic Alliance and the White Hats and everyone to step forward and let us know who they are and what they're up to.
Yeah.
Right. So we got the King of Cups, which is like the sneaky energy, but it came in upside down, and cups are connected to water. So that was a plan.
Will the real Galactic Alliance please stand up?
Yeah, please stand up and please step forward and please show us the game plan and show us exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, like it's
because I'm thinking like there's a lot of big names out there that are truthers, and I haven't seen any of them talk about this too much yet, which is really surprising to me.
It's probably literally, if they're big channels, it's probably because they're being told not to or something. I don't know.
That's what I'm wondering. So I think Gene Decode, he's one of the ones that will. Same with Carrie Cassidy. They'll just say it as it is.
Yeah, I think they will too. I hope so.
Yeah, but I haven't seen that. And what I have seen is I've seen a few people that are pretty well known that have been going on and on and on about Super El Nino. And I'm like, well, isn't that just a program? Like, aren't they just trying to program us about the weather and just accept that, oh, they call it Super El Nino, so we're just going to have drought? Like, I don't accept that. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't accept that agenda. And the heart got closed down, but I just recently, you and I've talked about it, there's other duplicates around the planet, so they're still controlling the weather wherever they are.
I read a comment from Matthew earlier, Matthew Morney, and like he said something like, I thought this was supposed to be the American wet hot summer, what do they mean by that? I don't know what they mean.
I think originally there was supposed to be a lot of rain. Well, there's rain in certain regions, but there's flooding. Like it's not even normal rain. I'll give you an example about what happened last week. So I got all excited that rain was coming because we so need rain. We got thunder and lightning in my area, but we got no water. Rain happened like 2 different regions that day, and there was flooding. So like there was like targeted flooding in certain areas, and then there was no water or rain anywhere else. So I'm still drought in my area, but I thought that's crazy. And they literally on the Weather Channel, they said that they used the word targeted thunder and lightning storms.
Wow.
So Heart apparently got shut down, but
me
Go
hear
ahead.
something crazy. Going back to that Juliet angle, because we're
Yes.
talking about
Oh,
weather.
yeah, we were going to do
because
that. Yeah.
She's friends with Kathy O'Brien, and I'm going to try to
Okay.
do a show with both of them. You know, Kathy O'Brien's like the famous MK Ultra. She's friends with Roseanne Barr, but she's like
Yeah.
the MK Ultra. Well, Kathy O'Brien's house got hit with a tornado, but here's where it gets weird. None of her neighbors' houses got hit by a tornado. Only hers did.
Yeah.
And she said it when she was on my show. You know,
I just got my God bumps. It was a target. She was a target.
absolutely. I think
Yeah.
so too.
Yeah. I'm going to shuffle because I want to ask about the MK Ultra and Disneyland and Disney World. A few people went in to investigate Spokane after the fires, like, you know, the threat was off and the fire had moved on. One house in one neighborhood was still standing and it was painted blue.
Wow.
Okay, so let's ask about the MK Ultra, Disneyland, Disney World tunnels underneath. King of Wands. Ace of Cups, so that's a yes. That's a yes. And Knight of Pentacles. So some of it could still be going on as well, because this is like a business as usual card, making money. So so some of those programs could still be happening. So this is what I don't like. This is like a Galactic Alliance card, which means they're aware of it, but I don't know, but they're facing the other way. So in other words, like if this, because this is the MK Ultra thing is being run by, and it was being run, I believe, by like the 3-letter agencies.
Yeah.
So the Alliance is kind of like overseeing everything. So right now they're facing away from this. So this is not a priority.
Yeah.
In what they're looking at right now. They're looking away from it right now. And that would absolutely explain why none of the Epstein files have come out. There's been no arrests that we know of so far. Like, I'm talking tangible results. Like, we're all fed up with hearing that it's been done.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Rob, but I want to see results now.
And it makes me wonder if, like, you know, like all these Republicans and Democrats and stuff, if like they're somehow friends behind the scenes, like they argue for show, but then they grease each other's pockets behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like, I'm thinking I've known about the Epstein files, like, even before lockdowns. Some of us just knew about them early. So I'm like over it. just like the UFO files, like, just land it all now. Like, just bring it out and let us know, right? And let the cards fall where they may, because it's ridiculous for things like Hollywood to be cranking out all of this stuff that's still a lie, if we don't need that anymore. So please buy the movies that you want now. Oh, did you know about this? We were going to look at the UFO thing. Did you hear that? So Sony, as of September 1st, are deleting over 500 movies in their catalog. They'll be gone.
That's crazy. That's fucked up. That's like, yeah.
So the story is we don't have the licenses for it anymore. But the people who I don't even know what streaming services they were on, but people thought that they bought something. So they actually thought that they owned it because it was digital. And they've been told, no, you own nothing. And those files are going to be gone. And the other thing that I saw yesterday, PBS, apparently, you know, the public television station, apparently they loaded up all of their programs for the last 70 years to an AI cloud. It got deleted.
Wow.
So they have nothing.
I think I saw that on American AVA Pop Culture. That guy was talking about it. I was like, why are they doing that? You know,
it is. It's a modern day book burning. It's a modern day of wiping out information. And maybe when they wiped out Tartania, maybe that's exactly what they started to do. Was they just started to collect things and then delete them.
Eric says Prince called it in 2010, which was not released until 2021. Lots of important songs. One that applies here is Hot Summer. I wouldn't deny it. You know, I liked Prince, you know, like I thought he was
very awake. He is very awake. And I think
like
he was another individual that found out the hard way about what was actually happening in the industry. Yeah.
I think people gave him a hard time because some people thought he was gay, but I didn't take him as gay. I thought he was just kind of like comfortable with his sexuality. You know what I mean?
I think he just had his own style.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. That's why he was so creative and he was so ingenious, because he didn't listen to what other people were saying about him. He had his own style.
You want to hear something crazy? I don't know if you did this too, but I remember being at a party in 1999, and
Yes.
my friend put at midnight at 1999. He put on Party Like It's 1999, and the whole party went completely nuts. You know what I mean? It was because it was literally like that song was made in the 80s, but it was like made for 1999, and there
It
we were
was.
in 1999.
And I was on a tech Y2K project. So I was traveling across Canada.
Did you ever think that like shit was gonna shut down being a part?
No, because I saw how inept the company, I worked for a big financial institution, so I saw how inept they were.
Yeah.
Like how nobody really figured anything out until the last minute. That's why we were out in the project, because basically no one had taken into account that all the calendars and the times and everything were going to be way off, and everything was going to shut down. No one could take their money out. So I saw how hokey it was, but which made me feel more relieved. I was actually more concerned that we weren't going to get the stuff fixed for everyone, which we did. But yeah, no, I wasn't worried about it at all. But I also didn't know like globally how it was going to impact everyone. Like Canada does a lot of business with, at that time we did a lot of business with the US. Oh, that's something else. Maybe we'll look at that next time. Apparently they're pushing through daylight savings time for everyone.
Is that what? Oh, you mean they're ending it? I heard they're supposed to be ending it or something, right?
Well, no, I think the theory is, this would be another question for Gene Decode. I think the theory is that standard time would be better for all of us, but they're actually in the US, they have to push it through the federal government. So they're pushing it through. That's one of the things on the plate right now, to ensure that there's no more daylight changing from daylight savings time. So whatever we're all on right now, we will stay there. And I don't know, I like in Canada and the US, it's different. Like every state and every province does their own thing anyway. But apparently, so this is what's happened is BC has been waiting for Washington, Oregon, and California to make a decision about that, because we all do business together and we're all in the same time zone. And suddenly they couldn't change it. It had to go through federally. So I guess there was enough of a push to leave daylight savings time. So what is that going to mean? It's going to mean more daylight at the end of the day, even in the winter, and later daylight in the morning for all of us.
Well, one thing that's been happening for sure was Art Bell called the quickening, and like way back in 2001, he had this Native American on, and he was talking about that like human metabolisms were speeding up. But I'm at a point now where I'm thinking like things have been moving so fast. I'm thinking maybe like Mother Earth or some component of the Matrix is like, you know what, this place has gotten way too fucked up. Let's just fast forward and get to the good part. Like,
well, and they have proven that even an hour is not an hour anymore. It's like 45 minutes or something. Can you believe like we're already in August?
Yeah, I feel like we were just entering 2026 like yesterday. You know what I mean?
So the next time you and I have a show, it'll be September.
And before you know it, we'll be here on around
Halloween. So that I'm excited about. I am starting to see little visions of fall. So I'm starting to see like shorter. Me too. So I'm starting to see shorter days, cooler nights. Like my cat and I are over the heat. We're just done with it. We don't want it anymore. So I'm excited about that. So I'm starting to see some of that. But I think probably everyone in the Northern Hemisphere has just dealt with so much heat this summer that we're over it. So I don't know how the whole daylight. Do you guys have any opinions about that? About the whole daylight savings time? Because I thought like some of the farm communities, like so in the middle of Canada and probably some of the states in the US as well, never went to daylight savings. Like they always just stayed on standard time. Because apparently the story was it was better for the crops, it was better for the farmers and whatever. But I guess people have done studies and it's actually worse for the crops and it's worse for the farmers. So, and all the birds and everything. So I'm not sure. But that apparently is on the agenda.
I have one more thing to talk about. So this was interesting. So someone from your channel, Donna Allison, says,
Hi,
Prince apparently Venusian. I got a story about this. So the great late Rob Potter, the ufologist who passed away, he used to throw conferences out at Mount Shasta. When he was on my show one time, he was telling me the story about the song Raspberry Beret. and he said that like supposedly that's about a Venusian girl, because like when the contactees came back in the day, the two girls wore red berets, and so like I don't know, I don't know where maybe he was just a big Prince fan. I don't know.
I'm just trying to remember. I can't remember if you and I deep dived about Prince, because I know we deep dived about a bunch of people. Please, if you have that other fellow on again, please talk about the Doors, okay?
Oh
You brought forward information about Led Zeppelin, which was good because I didn't know about it, but I'd really like his take on Jim Morrison for sure. Yeah. Okay. I when I look at people, if everyone's interested in their starseed information, it's there. So I absolutely know that Prince was galactic and a starseed. So let's just ask about him being Venusian and what he would like to bring in today, because he's just like, yeah, bring it on. Raspberry Beret Venusian, High Priestess. So that's a big yes. He hid what he knew. So High Priestess is very intuitive. I bet you anything he was diving into all of this stuff behind the scenes. Like he knew about all of it, which would have like gone into his music, right? So that was like yes. And I haven't like looked at Venus for a long time, but definitely like there are High Priestess galactic energy, like and groups and councils connected to Venus. Okay. Two of Swords. That's interesting. That's that's an ending and a beginning, and not seeing something, and then a fast forward, moving forward. So I think at one point, maybe did he go on hiatus for a while with his career? Like, was there like big pauses between like him creating one album and like they seemed like they were very drawn out projects. Like he didn't seem to me like he would be an artist that would just say, okay, we need an album out in 3 weeks. Like maybe at the beginning, but I feel like towards the end he was more like, no, this is like an Abbey Road, so we're going to be in the studio for a while, which is probably why he had his own studio, right? So he went through a very big spiritual awakening at some point, and he put a stop to his music so he could integrate it. And then we have the Chariot. So then after that point, his music completely came out differently, and I feel like that I do remember when Raspberry Beret came out. So I feel like that's when his music changed, and he was sneaking information in that he knew for sure.
Do you think, can we ask this? Do you think Prince was a contactee? Do you think he had some experience in this life? Can we ask that?
Because even from that movie Disclosure Day, Rob, like now we know some people have had experiences, some haven't.
Ooh, I got something to tell you about that too. Wait. Okay. So someone told me last night. So my friend Kit Liz, she kind of gives me good information. She told me that she saw on TikTok that alien at the end of Disclosure Day is supposedly real. But that's a rumor going around on TikTok.
I just got my god bumps. If it wasn't real, it was an image of a real one.
Okay.
Yeah, so if that gray was still not alive, like maybe because that gray, the message I got about that gray was supposed to be the gray that was recovered from Roswell. One of them that survived.
She was talking about the gray in the wheelchair. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but that gray in the wheelchair was representative of gray that they had kept alive for a long time. So, right? Okay. So, but if that gray wasn't actually real, like if it wasn't on set, then it would have been like like a clone or something else that was representative of it.
Well, you know what's so weird about Disclosure Day at the end of it? Like, like it really kind of brought some emotions to me, because like those pictures of Kecksburg and Roswell were so real. It was like, I mean, I know that's what Hollywood does, right? They know how to recreate things and make them look real. But it
like the wall with all the images when they brought everything up.
Yeah,
I think it was real. I got that it was real. Yeah, no, I got it was real because I got very emotional too. So I feel like that was their big thing. They brought in a bunch of real components so that so I think it's going to register with some people that saw the movie. So let's say they still think it's a movie. When some of that information comes out officially, their mind is going to go, where did I see that before? Oh, that was in the movie. Yeah.
Kind of like how back in the day when people saw the cover of Whitley Strieber's book Communion, it like sparked a bunch of people to have abduction memories.
Yeah. What was your question about the experiencers? Oh, was he an experiencer?
Was Prince an experiencer?
Yeah. Okay. So it's interesting because he's not. It's not really coming through clearly. Yes, Ace of Swords. Yeah. I feel like he, like with a lot of us, I feel like, because I got like 2 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, like nothing big. So he saw things and he heard things, but I don't think he, like many of us, felt comfortable enough to talk about it.
Yeah.
So he kept it hidden.
Yeah.
But he did have some experiences, and then we got the Ace of Swords, so that was definitely like a yes. He did.
Yeah. And
I think he questioned. I think whatever he saw, he questioned whether he even saw it.
Yeah. I just want to say, guys, like, I know we talked about a lot of like controversial stuff today. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. And like, if you need to decompress after watching this, maybe put on some Prince and smoke a blunt and like, just to remember.
Have some water, make some tea or coffee. You know what I thought about with the water? Oh, all the coffee drinkers are going to be pissed.
Yeah. Yeah.
People can't have, like, that was another big thing that happened through the lockdowns. All the coffee shops got closed.
I know. I love
and I'm thinking all the people, and I'm thinking all the people in the cities who are used to having like 3 or 4 Starbucks a day. I went, oh, they must have just been like a pleasure to be around.
I mean,
so please don't panic. This is like to sink in deeply that we're not too far along yet, but we can't expect that we're going to be rescued from it.
Yeah.
But I feel like how they're going to rescue us is they're going to assist us. They're going to start transmitting the information to create new technology, to take, like, to just say, okay, government, we don't want you anymore. Yeah, you're messing things up, so we're not going to listen to you anymore. We're going to go over here and we're going to start working on the water issue. Like, there are young kids out there who are figuring out technology to do with the ocean and everything like that. So I feel like ideas are going to come and we're going to embrace them. And I feel like more of it is about breaking down these systems that have been forcing us to just listen to what they tell us.
And not just that, but we're in the era of drones too. Remember, and the public has access to drones. And I've seen people talk about, and I'm not doing this, so YouTube, don't take me down. But I've seen people on TikTok and other places talking about how to take down data centers. So if the government doesn't think that people are going to do that, I guarantee you they're going to have people who are rebels and who are revolutionists.
Yeah, I'm seeing rebels online in your country, and they are just saying, like, everyone get ready. There's going to be a big rumble, especially about the water. Yeah, especially about the water. Yeah, which is good though. Like, it's about, I think it's just like that Ace of Swords. It's about making sure we're prepared.
Yeah,
because this is a big issue that's impacting everyone, and we can all be lured into watching movies, and me too, right? Like, unless I physically see something, like unless I go to a creek and I see that it's dried up, I'm just going to assume that there's water there because there's still water coming out of the tap. So it's just one of those things that they're still using this. So one thing I don't like, and this would be another great question for Jean Decaux, I don't like apparently that the Galactic Alliances and the White Hats are still going along with some of the narratives to wake everyone up.
Yeah.
So I don't like that because I don't feel like 60,000 people in Spokane did not need to lose their homes.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So I don't agree with, and I'm not sure if that's even just a myth now. I don't know.
And then, and we'll go in a second, but what happens a lot of times, then the insurance companies, these people have insurance on their homes and the insurance company doesn't want to pay.
Yes, so that's what's happening in Spokane and also the area I just told you about in BC. They're all finding out that the insurance companies aren't going to pay them.
You know why? Because the government or someone probably wants to declare eminent domain on that land. Yes. And if they get insurance,
when they start to dig deeper, they're going to find out that land is like big data center land right on the lake. Yeah. And it's all what we just lost was a lot of farming community. And that was the other thing. I haven't been able to find certain fruits this summer. I asked my sister and she said, no, she hasn't seen them here either. And I even went to like a farmer's market, asked them, and they said, no, we can't get apricots. Can't get them in this year. We always have them. So just little things like that, right? Like just pay attention. So yes, and maybe this is all going to like plant in, into your subconscious, and you're all going to, maybe you'll see like a data center meeting like Rob was talking about in your area, and please go if you can and pay attention to it. You're going to meet new friends. You're going to meet starseeds and lightworkers who don't even know that they are one. Yeah. But everyone is going to start to unify around this issue for sure.
It would probably do me good to go to these meetings because like I could get more people interested in my show too. I mean,
I love the regular people. I love going out there and asking them questions because I get feedback about what's going on.
Yeah.
So So I've seen so many people who really want rain now, who before were being lulled into the Weather Channel of, no, we've got sunny skies for Weeks. Okay. Well, they never used to be able to actually tell us what the weather was here for years. So how come all of a sudden now they can say that it's going to be sunny for weeks?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, this was a great show.
It was a good show. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Do you want to tell people where they can find you? And yeah,
I don't have my thing on today. What happened? Oh no, it's the.
I'll take it down. Hold on. Let me.
Okay. I'm like, oh, did I forget to do that? Rob and I are both having some tech issues today.
To take it down. So wait, let me see. Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't drink water, you will die. That's right. Yeah, we need water. That lady. Okay, so if you guys want to follow the lady that I'm telling you about, follow me on Instagram because I'm following certain people and I'm resharing her. So she's like in your face. People, we need water.
For some reason, I think I follow you on Instagram, and I don't. What I know you're Aloha Pink Bella 888. Right?
I think it's 888. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll make sure I follow you now.
We are following each other, and I think I'm trying to find the real people out there who are awake. So there are rebels out there who are like, wait a minute, there's no water. So I'm not sure how she got onto that mission. But she just had a bunch of people that were giving her flack saying that she didn't actually, people who weren't believing her, that there was no water. And, if people are going to AI and depending on how they word the question, some AI will come back with a hallucination saying like that it's fine. So I'm specifically I went to Grok today and I said, hey, Grok, my understanding is water levels are really low. Lake Mead, Lake Powell, can you give me a lowdown on what's happening? Grok had no problem doing that as well. Because I just said I'm using it for a podcast. They love bringing that information forward. And Grok even said, okay, this is approximate because this is just for today or whatever. So my website is alohapinkbella.weebly.com. Email me if you want to get a hold of me, alohapinkbella@gmail.com. Follow me on YouTube. I do load up Rob's shows. I load them up on Rumble as well as my YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. I try to get onto X as much as I can as well. If you're over there too. And if you guys want to dive into your own journey, what your mission is. Maybe you're supposed to be part of the water solution. So my Galactic Akashic Record sessions are perfect for that as well. And I'm just trying to think if there's anything else ongoing. If you're interested in meeting your dragon, that's something that's included with my sessions right now. If you book, you can meet your guardian dragon as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Pink Bella. This was an amazing show. And and guys, don't worry. We're not doing any. This isn't fear porn or anything. So just just try to just stuff and
This is the Galactic X-Files. The truth is out there.
Yeah, and we just be aware. That's the thing. Yeah.
And don't get lulled into even social media. That's why I think it needs to be a bigger discussion for everyone, because I think even if we're focused on just the galactic information, well, I'm at the fed up point now where I want us to have actually solutions being given to us, not they're waiting for something to happen. Because someone mentioned to me as an example, I loaded up our last show, I think on Rumble. Someone came over and commented and said, oh, don't get into fear. Apparently they're going to be for the med beds. And I said, well, that's great. But I've been hearing about the med beds for 6 years. Where are they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm over it. Right? Where are they? And when I asked my team about it, my new team is very different. They're here to help me dive into this information, but they're not going here, Pink Bella, this is the map, because the map changes daily. But I want med beds for everyone, water for everyone, clean air for everyone. This has been I'm a truth seeker. This has been who I've been since I was a kid. I never understood why everyone doesn't have water to drink on the planet.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much, my friend. Awesome as always.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Good
Bye.
night.
Sending aloha. Bye.